Psalm 50. The mighty God, even the Lord, hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined. Our God shall come, and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself, Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel. And I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings, to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, but the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, and thou consentedst with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double my honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. Peace and blessing, salutations to hopefully out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, and what I want to get into tonight, is to go into another. All right, as prophecy unfolds, everything is lining up. All right, it's a lot happening. The main topic, dealing with, the conflicts that's going on over there. All right, in the Middle East, mainly in the land of Israel. All right, and what they got going on, and we're going to go into these things. Some other things happening as well because as that's the main thing happening, there's still other things happening that's lining up with prophecy, man. Okay, so what I want to get into, all right, is a few articles. I got a few videos as well. Okay, so I want to start off here. Let's get this in. Open the Blue Letter real quick. So yeah, let's get this here in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And verse 1 says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Okay? To every day there's a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven, which is in the earth. And we're in the time of heavy prophecy being fulfilled. And we're going to go into these things, man. This is what we're witnessing real time. All right, and I'm just skip down to verse 8. It says, a time to love, all right, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. Okay, and we're in a time of hate and war. Okay, there's a lot of tension in the earth, man, on every level. Domestically, okay, internationally, nationally. There's a lot of turmoil. There's heavy. There's tension. Within America, and tension within different regions of the earth. And we're in that time. All right, and that's why the scripture describes this time as what? All right, as the worst time ever, because of all the things that's happening, okay, at the same time, okay, and the magnitude that they're going to happen on, man. All right, now just get that real quick. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 21. Okay, 24. So like trip. So let's get that in Matthew 24 and 21. All right, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, all right, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. All right, and these are the times that we're coming into, and we're seeing everything line up. All right, and this is why the Lord, promises, and every time he goes, the scriptures, describe the times we're coming into. It also speaks of how, he's going to look out on behalf of the elect. We're going to have a hedge in these times. Okay, we pray that we fall in the Lord's mercy in this time, man. Okay, and pretty much we have, the instructions, okay, to fall into that mercy. We understand the scriptures say, happy are thee, O Israel, for the things made pleasing unto the Lord are made known unto thee. Okay, so we have the instructions on pleasing our power, okay, to be protected in these times, man. Okay, verse 22 says, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right, so the Lord is getting ready to wrap this thing up. All right, and we're watching these things unfold, and at the end of the day, whether, okay, it be, all right, this year, next year, the year after, eventually these things gonna hit, and we're seeing all the dominoes being put in place. All right, so when that first domino fall, it's gonna lead all the way up until the second coming of Yahushua. That's why Yahushua said, what? Behold, I come quickly. Okay, so what we're seeing, let me get these articles, then we get the video. All right, so what we're seeing, is these nations being gathered. Okay, if a brother can post it, Bob Bashar, I think it's Zephaniah 3 and 8. All right, but I want to get into some of these articles, because what's happening over there in the Middle East, just as the scriptures say, the least of the flock shall draw them out. And you go into the Hebrew word draw, one of the definition is to drag. Okay, and what the actions of those Israelis, those small hats, Okay, and what they're doing over there in their region, all right, is provoking a reaction, all right, out of these nations, man. Okay, and they're drawing all nations to their region. All right, now, um, let's see, that's the right one. Yeah, let's see. Okay. All right, so you go here. I'm trying to blow it up a little bit. All right. So as we read the article, it says Russia and China form joint Middle East strategy. All right. So Russia and China are discussing what's going on in their region. All right, and their role that they're going to play in it. All right, because according to scriptures, all right, they have a role. You know, we're going to get into it. We're going to go ahead and get these precepts lined up. You know, so we can hit and go. All right, let's also get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. Yep, chapter 50 and 9. Yep, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9 and 10. And let's get Isaiah chapter 13. Verses 17 through 19, Bible Shah. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit of this. All right, so it says, in a development that could dramatically reshape the geopolitical landscape, Russia and China have announced plans to coordinate policies in the Middle East. Okay, and see what we're seeing for the longest, America has pretty much just been able to have their way in that region. You know, war with Iraq, all right, war in Afghanistan, okay, but we seen something happen, you know, in 2014, you know, when America went into Syria, okay, and you had Russia begin to intervene, okay, because pretty much America had just, you know, they intervened because what happened in Ukraine, America intervened with, you know, certain politics in Ukraine, okay, and that's why you have a pro-Western, all right, president in Ukraine now, okay, because of the West meddling in those affairs over there. So when America intervened, you know, when America, you know, invaded Syria, all right, Russia intervened, okay, and now what you have is you have America receiving resistance from these other superpowers as they try to, you know, to um, as they try to further, all right, the American hegemony, all right, or the American influence, or the America, all right, the West pretty much hoarding resources. You know, now you have these superpowers intervening. Okay, they're America's not the solo superpower in the earth anymore, man. All right, so Russia and China have announced plans to coordinate policies in the Middle East. This move comes amid escalating tensions in the region and growing fears, all right, of potentially wider conflict. And eventually it's going to get there, man. You know, even if this, you know, is something that dies down, all right, everybody's showing you, look, this is where we stand. You know, everything is lining up, all right, because even if it, you know, if it's something that dies down, guess what? These nations, all right, are going to going to move in a whole different mode, okay? Because they see, all right, where this thing can potentially go, and eventually it got to go there. All right, thus said the Lord. It says a high-ranking Chinese envoy recently disclosed that both nations hold similar views on the Palestinian issue. They expressed an intention to work together to alleviate the situation. This announcement coincided with China sending an envoy to the Middle East, signaling its desire to play a more significant role in the region's affairs. Okay? Oh, what they say on Friday? You getting involved? All right, all these nations is getting involved, man. Okay? It said the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas has not only heightened regional instability, but also seems to be widening the divide between major global players. As China strengthens its ties with Russia, there are concerns that the United States might find itself increasingly isolated in its approach to the conflict. Yeah, and America is being isolated to be destroyed. All right, to eventually these nations gonna destroy America, man. All right, and they gonna clear out Israel. Okay, that land gonna be cleared out through war. All right, America will never be inhabited again. It's gonna be a desert. All right, and Israel is gonna be cleansed. Okay, for the return of its true people. All right, it says as the world's second largest economy, China heavily depends on Russia and the Middle East for its energy supplies. Yeah, see, China is pretty much the factory of the world. All right, which means they need, millions and millions of barrels, all right, of this oil that comes from this region. Okay, so the Lord is forcing these nations, okay, to all come to this region, man. Okay, to have an interest in this region. Everything has been set up for the Lord's prophecy to play out exactly how He said it. Okay. Now all these nations, the elites, are behind the scenes with all these nations. All right, but it's the Lord's plan is going to stand. Okay. It says China heavily depends on Russia and the Middle East for its energy supplies. This reliance underscores the strategic importance of these relationships for Beijing and its foreign policy ambitions. Concurrently, Russia and China are reportedly probing ways to boost their influence in the Middle East, aiming to diminish the U.S. role in the region. Okay? This strategy is seen as part of a border plan to reconfigure the global balance of power. So Russia and China is telling you where they stand with this, man. Okay? And it's anti-America. All right? Hey, the Israelis are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, man, to drag these nations here, man. Okay? And then they're openly discussing, about a new world order. All right, which we'll get that in a minute. But let's get these precepts concerning, all right, what we're seeing happening, man. Okay? The water brother. It's the brother Beyond Yashala. All right. Salaki. It's the brother Beyond Yashala. Zephaniah 3 and 8, it said, Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nation that I may assemble, okay, the kingdoms. And this is what's happening. The Lord is assembling the kingdoms. Okay? This is what we're seeing happening. Nations are being gathered. For what? To pour out upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So the Lord is allowing these nations to come together for war. Okay. And He's going to allow them to go at each other for a time. And then eventually he gonna turn loose your house shot, man. Okay. To come get busy with all these nations, man. Okay. And to what? Be the King of Kings. Okay. On his head with many crowns. All right, and we're seeing the build up to that. Everything is lining up for all those things to be fulfilled, for everything that we hope for. And all right, and not everything that we have faith in is being set up to be fulfilled, man. Okay, now this is Jeremiah 50 and 9 from the brother Beyond Yashala. It says, For lo, I will raise and cause up to come against Babylon an assembly of great nations. And this is what we're seeing. Okay, Russia, China, Okay, we're gonna get in. It's gonna go into. I got a video. It's gonna go into Turkey, Iran. Okay, these are great military nations, man. Okay, that's rising up against Babylon. So we're seeing those assembly of great nations from the North Country. Okay, being led by Russia. All right, because it uh, Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog, the chief prince. Pretty much Russia, the chief. Okay, nation amongst this assembly of nations, man. Okay, it says of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Okay, which is Babylon. And the array is a battle formation. It said, from thence shall she be taken. All right, their arrows, their missiles shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Okay, so Russia and that assembly of nations, all right, are going to get involved. It's going to start off as conventional war, but it's going to end nuclear. Okay, in which these nations are going to turn America to a desert. All right, so America is running their ass over them as if they America like that bully that lost it but think he still got it, man. Okay, it's more than one bully on the block now. Okay, and America is gonna get embarrassed in this third world war. All right, embarrassed. Okay, it's gonna be bad. This is brother Beyond Yasha'Allah, Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, okay, which are the Russians, against thee, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Yeah, Russia, all right, you're not gonna be able to buy them off. Okay, they don't care about the sanctions you put on them. Hey, the Lord has put the spirit all right on the Medes to be stirred up against America, man. All right, for their purpose. Okay, verse 18 it said, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall spare no children. Yeah, because when Russia shoot off the missiles, man, the missiles don't have emotions. Okay, they're gonna come and do what they do. Okay, verse 19 it says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. Okay, because America has pretty much, been, the standout kingdom of the earth. This is the place, where people, would just drop everything they had to try to come here, you know, and this place was like a like a promised land. America, it was like a promised land for a long time. All right, the world looked at America like a promised land. You had the Cubans, when NASA swimming over here, you see the glory of kingdoms. But guess what? The America is being exposed. All right, and now is running to destruction. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how did he do that? With fire. Okay, so we're in that build up, man. All right, we in that time. So let's get this article, and if a brother could get let's see, brother lighting it up. Brother's ready for that war. And this, you know how we do, Beyond. This our lane. So let's get this one. This ain't the one. Yep. So this is Iran. All right, and just show you how The Israelis in America is further being isolated, man. All right, now this is I start here. This from Newsbreak. It says no world leader has more firmly proclaimed support for Israel in its war against Hamas than President Joe Biden. But the Biden administration also showing deep commitment to aiding the civilian population of war-battered Gaza Strip. The Israeli military ramped up its reach Sunday, striking targets in Syria, the West Bank, and Gaza amid growing concerns the war will spread more widely across the Middle East. Biden has warned Iran and other foes of Israel in the region to stay out of the war. Nigga, how you gonna come where I stay? You gonna come where I stay, start a war, and tell me, nigga, stand down. Nah, man, that ain't gonna be the play. Okay, it's not gonna be the play, man. You see? Yeah, he devils got some nerve, boy. It said the intensified military action came as a convoy of trucks carrying humanitarian aid was scheduled to make its way to Gaza from Egypt for a second day, finally arrived late Sunday after a long delay. UN Relief Chief Martin Griffiths said 14 trucks, 6 fewer than the previous day, reached Gaza through the Rafah border crossing. Another small glimmer of hope for the millions. Now I want to go. Damn, the aid. Nigga didn't send Jackson no water, you know. God damn, Flint, god damn. All right. Let's go here. It says Iranian Foreign Minister Hussein Amar Dalihim warned Israel and the U.S. on Sunday that if they do not immediately stop the crime against humanity and genocide in Gaza, anything is possible. At any moment, and the region will go out of control. Okay? So Iran is like I say, anything is possible. It's up there. All right? And New Orleans brothers, it's up there. Okay? As Iran told them, anything is possible at any moment. All right, and the region will go out of control. Okay? So these nations are in array, in battle. They like, look, Russia and China, like, look, man, we look, America, y'all ain't finna this ain't gonna be the play, man. With y'all on, man. Okay? And Iran told them, look, if it keep going, anything possible. Hey, fuck around, find out. Okay? that's pretty much where they at with it, man. Okay? Now, if a brother could get Isaiah 21 in verse 2, all right, and I'll get a couple more. Yep. Oh man, it's a heavy one. It's a brother in the Quran 5. It says this Sirach 39 and 16 says all the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commanded shall be accomplished in due season. All right, and we in that season, man. Okay, where the Lord is going to allow, okay, these prophecies to be accomplished, man. Okay, this is the time we're in. Joel 1 and 5, the brother in the Quran 5. It says, alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand. All right, and there's a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. Okay, and this war is gonna rock the earth, man. Okay, the Lord has a purpose. He has an end game in all this, man. All right, I'm gonna get one more precept. Yep. I got one more article. We touch it. We're gonna touch and go. Then we're gonna get to this video. And this guy here, he gonna break it down. This the brother in the Quran 5, Jeremiah 51 and 29. It says, and the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant, man. Okay? So the Lord, all right, has a major hit out on America, man. All right, and he's going to use these nations to do it. Okay, and then eventually his son, Yahweh Shai. Okay, so everything that's happening is leading to America becoming a desert. Okay, and you simple niggas, because it's simple niggas talking about we stand with Israel. You know, a nigga just repeat anything that's on Fox and CNN, nigga, or meme. You know, simple as goddamn hell. All right, so let's get this. We're gonna get this other article. All right, because Iran, we know where Iran stand, but guess what? Everyone has to play their role in prophecy. You see, we in a time of prophecy, man. This why it's a time to understand it. Okay, and Lord will, and we endure, because right now we're in the role of the elect. You know, we're the hopeful elect because we're playing their role. We pray that we endure. Hey, within this, man. All right. Now this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 21:2. It says, "A grievous vision, all right, is declared unto me. The treacherous dealeth, all right, dealeth treacherously, and that's America, and the spoiler, and that's America. And they've been doing this for the longest, man. Underhanded, grimy, you know, getting over, okay, spoiling, the earth's resources. All right. But nah, these nations like that ain't finna be the play, man, going forward, man. We finna change things up, man. Okay. It says, "Go up, O Elam, besiege, all right, O Elam, which is Iran, besiege, O Media, which is Russia, all the sign thereof have I made to cease." Yeah, he gonna have it to where, hey, these nations not just gonna be complaining about America, they gonna do something, man. Okay. Hey, they gonna do something. All right. So let's get this article here. Then we go into the video. Yeah, yeah. Baba Shah, brothers. I know you already in. I'm gonna get it. I gotta get a word in that blue letter. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. All right. Now, it's another article from Newsbreak. All right. It said Russia says U.S. will not be at the center of a new world order. And see, all these nations are down with this new world order, but they not for America to be, okay, the superpower. They tired of America being a superpower. So these nations all think that, after the war, okay, let me see. Wow, pop up. Okay, let me see. I got the article. Well, yeah, we're gonna read, and you see all these nations, think that they're gonna, after this war, because pretty much what we're seeing is the elites want to move everything to the east. That's why they want to try to clear out Israel, all right, where the elites can rule out of Israel, okay, and have all their assets in the east, Russia and China, all right. But it's not going to go according to their plan, all right. The Most High gonna throw he gonna throw a curveball in the game, man, and it's gonna be a major war that breaks out, man. All right. Now, it says Russia has criticized the United States president's assertion that Washington must be the driving force in a new world order, and then so they pretty much all telling you, okay. And this is why the CHIP, is tied to this war, because it's all based on what? New world order, which is that CHIP is going to be, all right, the way of currency, man. Okay. It says saying such an American-centric vision is outdated. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Monday, like Russia said, That American-centric vision is outdated, man. Played out. And America is outdated, man. Everything in it, everybody washed up, antique, fatigue, through. Okay? It is outdated, man. The brother Elder Abaya down here, he did a video where he had the little chick Sexy Red bragging about how, the stench, of a JJ, man. Of the box. I said, God damn. But this is where America is going, man. All right, outdated and played out. And these nations finna hit the button. All right, they're gonna eventually hit that button. He said Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Monday that while he agrees on the need for a new world order, all right, showing that these nations, all right, are down with the play of the elites, okay, but they're going to destroy each other in the midst of it. All right, he said he does not believe the U.S. should be at the helm. Any new system should be free from the concentration of all mechanisms of world governments in the hands of one state, he said. And that's the thing, like, it's very unbalanced because America, all right, that's why America known as Babylon the Great, because it's been the centerpiece of the world order of the elites, man, since World War II. Okay? And these nations like, nah, but it shows you they agree with the New World Order. And that's why Howard Shah, all right, is going to have to come back, all right, and mop the floor with all these nations, man. Okay? Because we're not pro-Russian or Iran or nothing. We're pro-prophecy, man. All right? We just need them to hurry up and do what they got to do, man. All right? And then Howard Shah going to come do what he got to do, So, yeah, I just, real quick. And go ahead and cue up this video. Yep, and the brother finished. Show right, brother. Finished. All right, nukes are on the way. Okay. This is the brother Ahab Amath. All right. Hope to be of that number by Isaiah 41:7 said, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne." All right. And this is what's happening. America is being demoted. All right. Because dust goes in confusion. All right. And also it represents a demotion for America, man, from the throne to the dust. Okay. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate," man. So America is finna get demoted to a desert. Okay. It was the glory of kingdoms, but it's finna be demoted to a desert in this third world war. Okay. So let me get this real quick as well. I want to get that word. All right. So when we go here to Jeremiah 49, this is what we're seeing happening, man. Yep. Let's go Jeremiah 49:14. It said, "I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle." And you see, you looking at this thing, you can see that these nations been wanting to get at America, man. And them Israelis as well, because they come as a package. All right. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." Okay? I want to get this word small. All right? How Jake do, they dunk on you or catch on you. They do the little, gesture like you too little. This is how these nations they finna do America, man. All right? And ultimately, when them missiles hit, hey, it's gonna be them nations getting that top, man. You know, he said, "I will make the small." Yep, this is word small in the Hebrew, which is kortan. All right, and the main word is what? Young, small. It says insignificant, unimportant. Okay, insignificant and unimportant. That's what's happening on the global scale. You know, Russia, like, man, this shit outdated, man. What America doing, man, played out. Okay, it was cute for a while. Now it's played out, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and cue this video up. I like this guy here, man. I need to find his main channel, but he breaks it down. You know, he pretty much, you know, he goes into, you know, the position that America is in, you know, when it comes to war. Okay. Let me find. Here you go. All right, this is some redact.
Now, artificial intelligence can generate ad creatives automatically. The program is called Ad Creative AI, and it helps marketers.
Well, the United States is ramping up additional assets, money.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna let it play. You know, you're gonna go into it. You're gonna address some things, man. You know, this is where we at.
Well, the United States is ramping up additional assets, money, weapons to the Middle East. Israel says it will wipe Iran off the face of the earth if Hezbollah intervenes in Gaza. The Turks seem to be motivated to mediate. We heard from Erdogan over the past few minutes saying he would like to mediate a peace. This flies in the face of what Secretary of State Antony Blinken just said over the weekend, which is we're not interested in any kind of ceasefire, which is unbelievable. Joining me now is Colonel Douglas Macgregor, who just wrote a new piece saying that the Biden administration should lead the charge to support a ceasefire. Colonel, it appears they're really going in the opposite direction with Blinken's comments yesterday, and now Erdogan coming out and saying, hey, we're happy to mediate a peace here.
No, I think that's true. And it looks as though the same people controlling events in Jerusalem are controlling events in Washington, and they are unanimous in their desire for a major war. And I don't think people understand the implications. People are viewing this as Hamas, as an enemy that richly deserves to be destroyed. There's no argument about that. The problem is, if you want to destroy Hamas, how do you go about doing it? And collective punishment that involves 2.2 million people is not a very popular way to do business. And particularly at this point in time, because the whole region is seething with anger over the attacks on the civilians in Gaza. There's no debate in the rest of the region about who's responsible. It's Israel. So you have the Israelis and all of their neighbors talking past each other. We are in a position to somehow or another address that and move this out of the realm of inevitable regional war into something more manageable. But there doesn't seem to be any interest in doing so.
The United States moving aircraft carriers, additional assets into the region. You may.
So yeah, you have, you know, nations in the region, you know, pretty much trying to mediate a peace. All right, but the devils don't want no peace, man. Okay, these devils, the Lord has a war spirit in the earth, man. All right, and these devils gonna go forth, and these Israelis got to do what they got to do. They got to draw these nations out, and they harden. You know, the Lord got them hardened. They don't want to talk about peace, man. Okay, they want to go forward with this agenda, man. All right, seeing you have but a short time. You see, what's that? If a brother can find that in Psalms, I think it's 140 or 144. continue while they gather together for war. You know, Baba Shah. I'm gonna let it play.
Make the point that this, you know, you're right there involved in this. This is a very dangerous prospect for the United States.
Oh, it is. And people don't seem to understand that today's Middle East is radically different from the Middle East of 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. The last major war was the 73 war, where Egypt and Syria attacked Israel, and Israel ultimately prevailed, although it was from time to time touch and go. Today, the Arab states are far more, I would argue, cohesive. The governments are stronger. They have more technology at their disposal, and there's a greater willingness to weigh in collectively. And today, we're also talking about Turkey and Iran as playing a major role, and as a result, Russia. Russia cannot sit idly by if Iran ends up being attacked by us. It will feel obligated to intervene because the Iranians have supported the Russians against the Ukrainian proxies. So this has the ingredients in it for a very major war. Now we're escalating across the boards. We seem to think that escalation works. We've tried that in Ukraine. We've escalated and escalated and escalated, and today Ukraine is in ruins. My great fear is that if this regional war unfolds as I think it might, there may be no Israel at the end of it.
Yeah, you're right. You write in your piece that Israel could become the next Ukraine.
You heard that? Okay. And this is a former secretary, all right, assistant to the Secretary of Defense. So he knows exactly what's going on. See, like simple nigga, you know, nigga sold out, and that's another thing. When you a sellout, see, ain't no money worth having to do what these devils tell you to do and forward their agenda, man. When it comes to like a nigga like Floyd Mayweather, man, you know, it ain't enough money and women, you know, because as a man, you gotta go and you know. But that simple nigga don't know what's going on, man. Simple, you know, the Americans, they don't know what's going on, man. They don't know the position they in. Okay? And they're used to, like he said, if a brother can get that as well, all right, let the weak say I'm strong. All right. He said, look, that ain't the Middle East from 20, 30, 40 years ago, man. It's different. Okay? And America running their ass over there, it's gonna be bad news for them. All right. This is the brother Bayan Yasha Allah Psalm 141. It says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man. That's his nature, man. Esau wants violence, man. That's how he, when Esau talk about peace, he's talking about major violence, man. Okay? This is what he's speaking of with peace, man. Okay? Verse 2, it says, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. All right, and this is nothing but mischief. Okay? They going to war, you know, they're waging war on false pretenses, man. This is nothing but mischief, man. All right? It said, which imagine mischief in their heart continually are they gathered together for war, man. Who is this, man? Esau, Edom, the wicked. Okay? And this is what we at. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Okay? Everybody, all right, all these nations, all right, in the spirit of war. Okay? Verse 10 said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say I'm strong. And this is what we're seeing happening. All right, and those nations that America just been bullying over there in the Middle East, now, all right, hey, these past few decades have become strong. All right, and largely in part due to who? All right, Russia, man. Okay, that's the role that Russia is playing, being a guard unto them. Okay, by supplying them arms. Okay. And he said, look, if If they do something to Iran, Russia got to get in it. Okay? The least of the flock is dragging them out, man. They're drawing them. They're doing exactly what the prophecy said they would, man. Okay? Beautiful. Your pop. All right? Let's play.
Rain if we don't watch out. How do you mean?
Well, first of all, Hezbollah that sits up in the north is not simply backed by Iran, but we estimate they have 100 to 150,000 of their own fighters. Plus, some estimates are between 130,000 and 140,000 rockets and missiles, of which at least 40,000 are extremely precise. Now, there's enough armament in Hezbollah to destroy half of Israel. Hezbollah has made it clear that if, in fact, the Israelis march into Gaza with the objective of rooting out Hamas and without regard, frankly, to the loss of life there. And, let's be honest, if you're going to march into a city and fight, the notion that you can pick and choose your targets is absurd. So the loss of life will be enormous. This is the catalyst for a regional war. And the Iranians have said it. The Turks have said it. Everyone has said this is unacceptable. King Hussein, or not Hussein, but Abdullah in Jordan gave a brilliant speech in Cairo explaining that he shared the Israelis' horror at what had happened to them and thought that they had responded reasonably under the circumstances, but said collective punishment that involves 2.2 million people and driving them out of their homes and into the desert is simply unacceptable. This is an impasse because we have a full court press in the United States to emphasize why we should be doing this, why we should be co-belligerents with Israel. And that's effectively what we're becoming in a very real sense. And that puts us at risk of confrontation with Iran, with the Turks, and with Russia.
Let me take a breather and chat a bit about something that's become like my right hand. It's always there, and I use it every single day, rain or shine. It's Notion.
Israel.
Play it back. All right, because he mentioned, all right, 3 nations that are prophesied to be in alliance in the scriptures. Let's get straight to the point. If a brother can post Ezekiel 38. All right. Verses 4. Verses 4 through 7. Ezekiel 38 verses 4 through 7. All right. But he mentioned 3 nations, okay, that are prophesied to be allies, okay, in the scriptures, man, in prophecy, man.
Why we should be co-belligerents with Israel. And that's effectively what we're becoming in a very real sense. And that puts us at risk of confrontation with Iran, with the Turks, and with Russia.
With Iran, Turks, and Russia. Okay. So let's get this. All right, so this is Ezekiel 38 and 4. All right, it's the brother Ahab Amath, hope to be of that number. Ezekiel 38 and 4 says, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine armor, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company. Okay, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Okay, going back to that company of nations, man. Okay, and that's in the scriptures in Ezekiel, in Jeremiah just said assembly of nations, but in Ezekiel it says a company of nations, all with military hardware, But then it goes on to name those nations. Persia, all right, Ezekiel 38 and 5. Persia, which is Iran, okay, Ethiopia and Libya, those northern African countries, Egypt, because it's just going into a region, okay. Them all, it said, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. It said with shield and helmet, and that shield is gonna be the missile defense system, man. Was that he gonna talk about that, All right, so it says, verse 6, it says Gomar, which is Turkey. Okay, so the scriptures prophesied those three nations having an alliance, man. Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog, which is Russia, all right, the chief prince of those nations. Okay, Persia, which is Iran, and Gomar, which is Turkey. And he just named those three nations, man. Okay, Gomar and all his bands, all right, and Turkey has one of the top militaries of in the UN. Okay, it said the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so Russia has to be a guard. That's why he said Russia, he said, Russia, if we do anything to Iran, Russia not going to sit idle, man, because they got to play their role in prophecy, man, and be a guard. Okay, so let's let it play some more.
Israel over the weekend saying that they will consider civilians who are in the northern part remain in North Gaza terrorist accomplices, quoting. The Israeli military has told Palestinian civilians living there that if they don't evacuate south, they will be considered an accomplice in a terrorist organization. So trying to root out Hamas, going into these caves, this is going to be an absolute disaster. It's going to be, I mean, we've already seen how much of a disaster this is. And the Israeli infantry going in, talk about that part of it, going into these cave structures where Hamas has been holed up and living in these massive booby-trapped caves. I've talked to some Israeli sources who tell me that they are absolutely terrified what's going to happen to the infantry if they go in. They will be slaughtered by the structures that are underneath those cities and underneath North Gaza. Can you speak on that, the military strategy of this on the part of the Israelis?
Well, keep in mind that the Israeli Defense Force on the ground consists of a small portion of professional soldiers. The vast majority of people that are being mobilized are simply civilians. They're reservists. I've been told that these reservists are not nearly as well trained and prepared as their predecessors were in 1973. That means that they have even less training and less preparation than you would want for such a complex operation. But let's assume you have a couple of weeks to train. You're not going to reach the level of expertise that you would want to deal with what you're describing, these tunnels. And remember that the Israelis have destroyed most of this area in northern Gaza, which makes it much easier for Hamas to defend itself. When you leave buildings intact, you're always at risk of bad things happening, but you have a way to navigate through it to root out the enemy. Now that everything has been rubbled, you have no idea where you're headed and what you're doing. Now, I'm sure the Israelis will use everything at their disposal: persistent surveillance overhead, careful targeting of anything they think is hostile. And I'm sure that the soldiers on the ground will do the best they can. But that's still not going to prevent you from taking very heavy casualties for all the reasons that you cite, IEDs and so forth. Now, there is one other possibility, and that is that the Israelis may decide to use fuel-air explosive. And fuel-air explosive over a square, let's say a couple of square miles, essentially sucks all the oxygen out of the area and then ignites it into a fireball. We use these things in Vietnam. They could certainly use these things against both Hamas and Hezbollah. And frankly, I think for their purposes, it would be necessary. But imagine the response of the region. Imagine how the Turks and the Iranians, the Egyptians, Jordanians, Saudis, Syrians, everyone will feel when they witness this. Again, I don't see this as a very positive outcome for Israel. And I think we're grossly underestimating the military potential of those lining up against Israel. And remember, Russia does not want to be in this.
Right.
Russia wants to remain neutral, but Russia's relationship with Iran is very, very close. And if you attack Iran, you're going to end up at war with Russia.
Is the center of all of this MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, of course, Saudi Arabia, maybe the most important man in the world at this moment? I've heard that thrown around over the past few days. The idea of a unified Muslim world, the greatest threat perhaps to Israel, a unified front, no divisions between Shia, Sunni, and others. And you have a unified Muslim world saying, down with Israel.
Well, normally the Israelis are very good at practicing economy of enemies. They've always been good at that. Deal with one at a time if you can and turn your potential opponents against each other. Unfortunately, this time they've done the opposite, and we're helping them to do it over and over and over again every day. And that is that they've united the opposition. You're absolutely right. Now, is MBS in charge of it? I think has a very influential role because of his position in Saudi Arabia, which is effectively for Muslims the equivalent of the Holy Land. So what he says carries great weight. But you've got other actors. Qatar has funded not only Hamas, but also Mr. Erdogan in Turkey. Without Qatari funding, the Turks would be in serious economic trouble. So there are other actors that are playing into this, and you shouldn't underestimate General Sisi in Egypt. The Egyptians have maintained very good relations with the Israelis, but their government cannot survive what the Israelis are doing in Gaza. And the pressure on him to mobilize his army and go forward and fight potentially to protect the Gazans is enormous. Now, if you're an Israeli and you're angry and you're emoting about what you've seen, you may not be satisfied when you've killed 10,000 more or 20,000 more Palestinians.
So I just want to sum things up real quick. So he's saying, that the Israeli infantry, not even that, they're mostly civilians. And one thing about it, them Arabs, they wild, all right, and it ain't gonna be sweet. So he pretty much telling them, look, they go in there, and it's gonna be hell, man. The Israeli infantry go in there, and all them booby traps, and them people know their land. They was there way before them, so they know, their area. They got tunnels and, like I said, all these booby traps. All right, and them Israelis gonna run they westernized ass in there, and it's gonna get bad, man. It's not gonna go like the West think. See, what the Israelis and Americans got on their mind, it's not gonna go like that. Okay. And then he was speaking of those crown princes over there in Saudi, because mainly I say Saudi are Sunni Muslims, and you have Iraq is a Shia Muslim, and they kind of don't see eye to eye. But what's happening? They're unifying, and the alliance of the Saudis and the Iranians, problems, because the Iranians, Iran, they got a lot of hardware too, but they got them generals over there, that know how to, wage war in their land. Okay, and you put that together with the Saudis' resources, okay, and all the military hardware that they got, which they bought from America. See, everything is going against America, man. Everything is going against the West. Matter of fact, if a brother could post, get the book of Psalms, all right, 73, Psalm 73 and verse 18. Yep, Psalm 73 and 18, Bob Bishop. Okay. And he's telling them, like, because their weapon, those oxygen weapons, okay, well, you suck out the oxygen, then it ignite. And he like, if they use one of those weapons, like, it's gonna be a major reaction. And he's naming all these Muslim nations that surround Israel, man. Okay. Yep. The brother got it. Get that real quick. This is get this one first, then we'll get them. Yep. This is the brother Yaqua Hopeful Lake 3. It says, surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou casted them down into destruction. Yeah. All right. America is set up for failure, man. And he's going to keep going more into it. America has been set up for failure. The American culture, okay, everything America has done, all right, it set them up for failure, man. There are no slippery places, man. Okay. So let's go here. Yep, the brother got that. All right. It's prophecy, man. You can't he's not going into the Bible, but he's going into the Bible. You see, he's just a high, all right, ranking politician that understands what's going on with war. Okay. In 2nd Ezra 15:28, it says, behold, in horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east. All right, this from the brother Habamath. All right, hopes to be of that number by. Okay, and it's speaking of that region, that horrible vision is going to be all right, this alliance, man. Okay, of these Muslim nations, man. But those Saudis have the most military hardware over there, man. And you combine that with them, all right, with them OG, all right, Iranian generals, we'll see. All right, verse 29 says, where the nations of the dragons, it said, where the nation of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them, okay, may fear and tremble. All right, because them Israeli troops and them American troops ain't ready, all right, for offensive from all them nations, man. You know, Pakistan, Afghan, all them coming over there, man. Okay, verse 30. Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath, those Iranians, shall go forth as a wild boar of the wood, and with great power, and they shall come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is America, man. Okay, and that American military, which is an extension of America, they finna get their work over there, man. Okay, so yeah, let's let it play.
But you've got to have someone who is rational in charge. Everyone is emoting right now. We are emoting, the Israelis are emoting, and so are the Muslims. Emotion is the killer. Emotion leads to bad decisions and bad outcomes. What's needed now is cool, calm, collected thinking. And we need to understand that however much we hate Hamas, taking the current approach is the road to Armageddon in the Middle East. And we haven't even talked about nuclear weapons. And people don't seem to understand that, of course, the Israelis have a nuclear weapon, and they've made it abundantly clear that if pushed to the wall, that they would use it. But they forget that, for instance, Turkey has very close relations with the Pakistani military. The Pakistani military and government has made it clear repeatedly over many, many years that if the Turks need nuclear warheads to protect themselves, they will receive them. You're talking about a double envelopment, if you will. You're not only dealing with the high-end conventional warfare, the introduction of all these missiles and rockets and unmanned aircraft, you're also dealing with this evil shadow of nuclear exchange hovering over the region. So I keep advising anyone who will listen, back off, think about this carefully. And I'm very grateful that the Israelis to this point have not yet gone in. That gives us breathing space. We need that.
Want to create professional videos effortlessly? Head over to hour1.ai.
Secretary Blinken yesterday said that he sees no indication that Israel wants to control Gaza in perpetuity. Do you buy that?
Gaza has been a huge problem for a long time. Many Americans are unaware of it, but during the Camp David Accords discussions, Menachem Begin actually offered Sadat Gaza, said, please take it off our hands. We don't want it. And at the time, Sadat said, I've got so many problems inside my own country, I can't take on any more. As a result, Gaza has been this island of misery and misfortune. Now, you could certainly blame that to some extent on the inhabitants, but, you know, people have referred to it, not without reason, as the world's largest open-air prison or concentration camp. Now, the Israelis have had to take stringent measures to protect themselves because Gaza is a permanent thorn in their sides. So I don't think they want it. I think they would like to remove it. The problem is if you push 2 million or 1.5 million or whatever it turns out to be Arabs into the Sinai, which is the real plan I think the Israelis would like to follow, you've just pushed the problem 20 miles away.
Right.
Hamas is more than people. It's an idea. It is steeped in hatred, but it is widely regarded in the Middle East because they will not surrender.
It's a hydra, right? Is it fair to call it a hydra? I mean, and it's not even top down from what I understand. It's not like you have some leader sitting at the top. You have a multiple headed hydra that you cut one head off, it'll just keep popping up.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the Israelis understand that, but their only solution is force. I think you have to somehow or another rob Hamas and others of their raison d'etre. Now, how do you do that? Well, you've got to reopen discussions about the future of the Palestinians, which is something else the Israelis don't want to do. They don't want a two-state solution. They regard that as a threat to themselves. And you have a substantial portion of the people supporting Netanyahu who think this is their opportunity to create a greater Israel that reaches from the Jordan River to the sea. Now, I understand all of these things. I'm an American. I'm not an Israeli, and I'm not unsympathetic, but I don't think it serves Israel's interest to pursue these goals. And if they do, we and they are going to be drawn into a very large regional war in the Middle East. And what have we got to send? We can certainly send ships, although you've got 90 aircraft on each aircraft carrier, of which 40 or 50 are attack aircraft. You have a flotilla that's there largely to protect the carriers so they can launch their strikes, but they're also operating from a very long way offshore, so far that they may have to land in Israel after executing their strikes to refuel. Then they're up against air defenses. Now, the air defenses that are there are Russian, but they're also part of Syria. Those air defenses can be turned to use against us, so we'll probably lose aircraft. Then the question is, if you can't influence things on the ground in Israel, what can you do? We have no army. We really have no army anymore. It's down to about 450,000. It's a shadow of its former self. If you can't put forces on the ground, you're not going to change anything. And the Israelis, again, they're talking about a force of 470,000 to 500,000. That's larger than the U.S. Army. 2,000 Marines offshore, 2,000 special forces working with the Israelis are not going to win a war.
And so, yeah, we look at being dragged into a larger absolute mess right now. Armageddon, to use your word. Colonel, I want to encourage everyone to read your latest piece on this. I think it's really interesting and thoughtful.
Say you dragging. Say we being dragged into it up. Just prophecy is dominating the earth, man. All right. Let's get a few precepts. Yeah, and then he was speaking about, those aircraft carriers, how they so far away. Because those jets can only go so far. All right, those fighter jets can only go so far before they need to refuel. And the aircraft carrier so far that it can't do a strike and make it back to the carrier. All right, it might have to land in Israel. And if they land in Israel, they through. They through. All right. Them S-300s, okay, that Russia got in Syria, they can lock on any Israeli, all right, any aircraft that's coming out of Israel, they can lock on it on the takeoff. Before it take off, it already have it locked. You know, the missile defense system that Russia got over there, it already have them aircrafts okay on lock, man. You know, so they done. Okay, and he said, "Look, we might lose some aircrafts. Hell yeah, you're gonna lose some aircraft." Okay, let's go here, and this is nothing but prophecy coming to pass. Okay, and he started talking about them missiles. He's and then Turkey, and then you know, Pakistan told him, yeah, you know, yeah, we'll get Turkey some missiles, some nukes. They need some nukes. They, you know, see, they on the way. All right, and you know they already got them. Everybody scrapped up over there, man. All right, it's that time. This Isaiah 9:5 said, "For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, man, because eventually it's gonna start off conventional, okay, which that's gonna be just you know, even the conventional weaponry they got, you know, is on a whole nother level, man. All right, it's gonna start off conventional, all right, and then it's gonna get nuclear, man. Okay, this is Zephaniah 2:4. It says, "For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive by Ashdod at noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up." And that's over there. These are regions in the land of Israel now. Okay? It is speaking of their region, and this is destruction coming to their region. Say, woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast and the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, the land of the Philistines. All right? Speaking of the modern Israel, man, I will even destroy thee, and that there shall be no inhabitant. Yeah, their land is gonna be cleared out. Okay, it's gonna be cleared out for who? It's gonna go into it. It says, "And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds, and folds for flocks, and the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah, and they shall feed thereupon. In the house of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening, for the Lord their power shall visit them and turn away their captivity." Okay, so that land is going to be cleared out for us, man. The Lord is going to turn our captivity, man. Okay, so this is all good news, you know. This is all good news for us, man. Okay, we good. You know, I had some other things, man, but you know, I just make a separate, you know, another in the news. Lord will, you know, bring out some other things that's going on. But yeah, man, this is where we at. It's all everything is lining up, man. All right, and then and that Edomite, that ex, you know, colonel of the military, but he was like an advisor to the Secretary of Defense. You know, he's retired now, but he says he to anyone that he can he can find, he telling them, you know, call this off, man, because he know what it's gonna lead to, man. All right, and he has a lot of intel about that region, man. Okay, and it's not gonna turn out like them Israelis in America think, man. America only got 450,000 army. Okay, it's not. I will make these small among the heathen, man. Yeah, they got all their hardware, but it take people to run it. Okay, you can't be taking these casualties, and you know, yeah, the hardware is useless if you ain't got nobody, you know, to run it. So yeah, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify till the next time I say Shalom. Calling about Shalom, Bob, detail soon. Shalom.